All right, gentlemen, all right, kings, welcome back. So we're going to take a look at a video from the good people at Modern Women Archives about some lady who does Lonely Fools and how it's affected her mental health. Oh no, who would have thought that posting pictures of my butthole and me being treated like a piece of meat that she chose to do would have a negative effect on her life? Oh, the shock. Oh, the horror. Oh, let's listen to this.
So it's been a year since I started my OF and my spicy pages, and I just feel super anxious today, and I wanted to just come on here and share some thoughts on my experience so far. I'm kind of scared to share my actual thoughts, but I just feel the need to say them in case anybody who's following me here has any sort of desire to start this kind of thing. I want to start off by saying that I definitely have a really complicated relationship with this whole thing, and
You mean the relationship you chose to engage in? I mean, who forced you to create an account? Who forced you to post pictures? Who forced you to get into the nude? And she's Asian. Aren't you supposed to be traditional? Aren't you supposed to save yourself for marriage? I mean, what would your parents think? God, what a massive disappointment you must be to mommy and daddy.
there are things that I appreciate about it and have appreciated about it from the beginning.
The money.
But if I'm being so honest, there really are so many downsides. I'm trying so hard not to get like super upset while sharing this, but if I'm being honest, my mental health since I've started this has just slowly like been on such a decline.
See, now this is what I'm curious about. Is it that she's saying, oh, my mental health is on a decline because maybe guys have seen what she has to offer and then it's like, all right, well, I'll unsubscribe to her and now I'll subscribe to this new chick where I get to see her chest and her beaver and her bunghole. And then this chick is like, I mean, really, how many times can you post the same picture? Oh, pink lingerie and red lingerie and me bending over. But after a while, it's just like the same old person, the same lighting. Maybe the angle's slightly different, but it's the same body. It's just I can't. There has to be a limited level of sustainability with this stuff, and it's going to have to be amped up crazier and crazier. It's like, oh, well, I'll show a nip. Well, now I'll show my entire breast. Well, now I'll show my entire body. Well, that's getting old. Well, now I'll have bedroom relations on camera. Well, now I'll have bedroom relations on camera with multiple people. Now I'll have bedroom relationship with multiple people and a dog. You always have to keep up in the ante because after a while, it's just like ho hum, same old, same old. So I don't know.
And I would say that it started maybe like honestly probably 7 months ago, where about like maybe 6 months into doing this, yeah, about 6 months, I started to get super burnt out. And I think a lot of the people who follow me now on this page are like kind of, you've probably come from like much older videos, um, you know, with the spicy page or OF like sort of being the topic. And while I did have such a strong start and it was so much fun in the beginning, um,
Because you're making so much money for such low effort work. Just God, I mean, I'm so tired of women saying, "Oh, I'm so oppressed," and "Oh, the patriarchy," and "Oh, toxic masculinity." How many guys, how many of you guys can post your bunghole on the internet and make $5,000 a month? Zero, zero. But her, she could post a foot pic and it's like, oh, 20,000 a month. Like, give me a gosh darn break. This is ridiculous.
after getting burnt out, I started to just feel really differently about like the types of messages that I was getting.
Show me your tits!
Just feel
I mean, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? That guys are going to like, oh my God, you're so, you're naked, but you're so beautiful. Oh, I would love to take you out on a five-star restaurant on my dime. No, you objectify yourself. Don't be surprised when guys treat you like an object that you of your own free will and volition chose to become. I mean, I don't understand this. I'll be a whore online, and then when I'm in person, oh, you gotta treat me like a lady. No, no, no. Guys are done with this. It's so I was on this. God, what was this? 20? No, I'm sorry, probably about 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago. I was on this date with this chick, and we met at the club, and so we got like a couple days later, we got dinner and stuff like that. Then this is when I was still kind of shy and timid and all that, nice guy face and all that crap. And it's like, oh no, we'll take it slow, we'll take it slow. And so we start talking, and I tried to get in her pants, and she's like, oh no, no, I like you. And so we started talking about like past dating, and she's like, yeah, the last guy I was with, like, oh, he was just so hot. I hooked up with him on the first night. And that's one of the instances where I kind of went like, wait, what? So, and I was asking him like, well, if you gave it to him like right away, why wouldn't you give it to me right away? She's like, oh, but I like you. And I remember telling her this. I told her, I don't need you to like me. I just need you to, f me. And I said the whole thing, but I'm trying to keep it somewhat clean for YouTube. I don't need you to like me. I just need you to f me. And she kind of gave me the look like, oh, like it's like you can't tell me that you just give it out, and then for when I come around, it's like, oh no, I'm a good girl now. No, 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 no. You have proven to yourself that you give it away, at least to the Chad. So maybe she thought it was a beta, but I don't know. Live and learn. But that was one of the time I was like, nah, that's BS. You can't tell me that you give it out like Halloween candy, but now I need to go pay for it. Get out of here.
Feeling like sort of the effort that I was putting in to it still wasn't. I guess I'm trying to say there's no amount of money really that you can give me at this point, and I'm like willing to admit this now. There's no amount of money that you can give me right now to like make me feel like giving myself away in certain aspects, even if they're just a few photos or whatever online. It almost isn't worth it anymore.
Liar. Absolute liar. You have some Saudi prince say, hey, $1 million, fly to Dubai. Dubai doo-doo party. Oh, she'd be out there in a second. Hell, I'd be out there in a second. You want to crap at my face for $1 million? All right.
It's hard to describe this because I realize that when I have spoken about OF, that it's typically been in a light where it's like it's fun, it's art, you make money, blah blah blah. But if I'm being so honest, that really is like the only upside to doing it. Like just the ability to very quickly make extra cash. But I think again, like just over the course of a few months, of like half a year or so, just going really hard at it, I think I didn't let a lot of like the messages get to me, but I was lying to myself, and I definitely think that it's like really worn on me over time. And it's not to say that I don't have like really good guys on there following me and like monetarily supporting me, even like checking in on me at times where I like, earlier this year I definitely disappeared for a few months, even on here. But even with that, like just realizing that even those people are not people that I would call when I'm having a really hard day.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, your social media followers. See, this is the problem with social media. Everyone thinks like, oh, look, I have 16,000 friends and 16,000 followers and 16,000 people that care so deeply about me. But how many of them do you actually know their name? Do you know their birthday? How many of them can you actually call and they would help you, move or have lunch with or help you change a tire when you blow on the side of the road? It's just all artificial. It's hollow expectations and hollow validation. This is why, God, I really wish social media would disappear. I wish they would reset the internet. And the internet is for tutorial videos, navigation, and maybe like product and food reviews. But none of this like, oh, a day in the life of a Google employee and watch me just eat food and go to yoga and oh, let's twerk in hot girl summer. It's just and God, I really think all this trans crap would disappear if people couldn't post it. Like, oh, look at me get my, my willy chopped off and let it get turned into a vagina. And, it's like, oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, stunning. Oh, so brave. Oh, empowered. Oh, queen. Oh, slay. Blah, 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 blah. I think if social media just disappeared and all these crazy trans people couldn't post their craziness on the internet to receive crazy validation, people were like, well, I'm a guy. I like guys, but I'm not going to transition to a girl to make me straight. I'm just a guy who likes guys. Or I'm a girl who likes girls, but I'm not going to transition to a guy to make me straight. I'm just a girl who likes girls. That's it. And who cares? God, this fucking just need for validation. And you could say, hey, idiot, you're doing the same thing. Yeah. But sometimes you got to just spew out all that toxic crap that's floating through your head.
Just makes it feel just so fake. And I'm not sitting here saying that like I ever got on there to make friends. Let's be honest, it's really just to make money from a bunch of
Idiots.
horny men. But I guess I'm just trying to say that
Well, at least she admits it. At least she admits, hey, I'm just here to sucker a bunch of guys. Credit to her. At least she wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to change the world with my artistic views. Hey, credit to her for at least saying men are stupid.
just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, or if you've like ever been curious about it, there really is just like such a um like I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized. And I don't know, like not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of
Oh, shit.
like desire or like
Oh,
attraction to men in general anymore.
oh my God. Okay, I didn't watch this video all the way through. Oh, that was funny. That was that was funny. Kudos to her. Admitting she's dead inside. And you know why other girls probably don't do this? Because they have fathers that love them. They have a strong father role model. Ah, I'm dead inside. I'm not attracted to men, but I'll take their money. But I don't desire you, but pay my bills. Ugh.
More, and that's also because of my my personal collective experiences that I've had with like dating like the wrong types of men and things like that. But I think with this line of work, men, you will never catch a man being more honest and more authentic and more real, and not necessarily in a good way, than they are and the way that they present themselves to girls who do stuff that I do.
Duh. Absolute duh. I mean, if you are going to present yourself as a plaything, a pleasure center, a tool to be used, you are not a person. You are a commodity. You are a commodity. You are a product. Why? Because I can buy you. I can rent you. I can message you. Oh, you want this kind of picture? It'll be an extra $5. And you do it. You are not a person. You are product. You are an object. You are a plaything. Where if I meet a girl at the gym and she goes, you know, I've only had two boyfriends. I go to church. I come with a good family. I'm very selective with who I'm with. I would never do online content. I have to treat that person with respect because they respect themselves. You, madam, obviously don't respect yourself because otherwise you wouldn't be on here. So if you don't respect you, why should I?
I can't even imagine what it's actually like for real life SWs. Like, I'm sure it's like 50,000 times worse for them. Like, at least to a certain extent, there's like a level of protection for me, just given that I'm like behind a screen, right? Like, I'm never actually gonna like see these guys in person or anything like that. But
Uh, there is some a point to that because she said SW as in the nighttime workers or people that do not necessarily on the streets but call girls, massages, all that stuff, and as a person whose creepy friends, not me, of course, no, 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 not me, not me, who my I've heard this from my weirdo friends who may have done some pay for play, not me, of course. Yeah, I mean, you don't treat these people as objects. It's like, I just paid for it. I'm gonna yank on your mommy milkers, and I'm gonna pull and yank on you like you're a Stretch Armstrong. I paid for it. It's mine. I'm renting you for the next half hour. Give me what I want. Oh, but I don't like it. I don't care what you want. You want my money. I want your body. Give it to me. Oh, but you have to be soft. No, 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 no. Give me what I paid for. That's it.
But, like, seriously, if I had any type of ability to share, like, the things that people have said, like, the things that people have, like, the nerve to, like, DM me with, just like how disgusting they are. And also, I can't even count to you how many times the ones who follow me on Instagram, like, when I get curious and nosy, sometimes, like, I'll go look at their profile and they have like a whole girlfriend or a whole wife, and sometimes, even disgustingly enough, they have kids. Sometimes it makes me feel so conflicted with doing this, and a part of me just feels so prideful. Like, I feel like yes, it's been a year, not like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but I do still feel like I'm still so deep in it. And I I think I'm just being prideful, but I just feel like, and I'm not, I just don't want to quit because I'm just not a quitter. Like, I always see things like to the very end, and I really, I won't quit until I'm physically stopped.
I'm so prideful. I won't quit until the very end. Well, what's the end goal? I mean, is her end goal like a certain monetary level? Because otherwise, I don't understand. What is she expecting to get out of this? Didn't she kind of hit the apex of what you can do? I mean, if she makes the spicy pictures and the spicy videos, what more is there to do? Is the other goal to be an actual call girl? Like, hey, if you want to book a session, fly me out? Or is it a certain level of money to pay off her debt? I mean, what's the end goal here?
You what?
So I don't know what the point of this rant was, or if I'll even post it, but I think I just wanted, like, just to share my thoughts out loud, because I'm like in this really weird point in my life where I'm just so overwhelmed by so many things, and
Sorry for the refrigerator.
this being like my one creative outlet to, like, or so I thought, to like express myself and like produce this work that, like, I'm really proud of. I do take a lot of time to go, like, rent these spaces and like get like certain types of outfits and like our lingerie, really, and like do these shoots and like post them, and like editing is like a whole process. And like, there are lots of parts that I enjoy, but I think what ruins it is like when I really sit down to think about, like, ultimately, like, what the purpose of all this is. And
To make
it's really
money.
just to visually please a bunch of men who, again, a lot of them are disgusting.
Don't.
I think I wanted to share all this because I've just been switching up a lot of sort of my direction, with my Instagram, and like I don't really post like spicy page related stuff on here anymore. And I don't know if I've been sort of exploring the idea of maybe just having my content be focused on, things that I'm actually interested in, which ultimately is not pleasing men in any way, shape, or form. Like, y'all can keep your money at this point. I don't know what I'm going to do. But, anyways, if you made it this long, thanks for listening.
All right, now I'll give her credit. Maybe she's saying, hey, it's not all cracked it's up to be. You hear girls talk about, oh, I made this amount of money and this threshold, but you're talking about the top 3% of creators that make the crazy amount of money that you always see in the articles. Oh, I made 50,000 a month, and I made enough to pay off my house, and blah 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 blah. And you know what the tragedy is? She is not an unattractive woman. Now, I don't know how much makeup she may or may not have on, but when you look at her, she is very naturally beautiful. And I can't imagine that she would have, and actually, I can't imagine she would have a very hard time finding a guy that would treat her right. She seems feminine. She's got the nice she's got the nice nails, nice skin, nice hair. She obviously takes care of herself. And, she doesn't seem fat, which is a bonus. And, is it that she was always chasing the higher goal? Like, oh no, I don't want an average guy with an average job. I want super Chad and super Tyrone. making making what do they call it? Bands, rubber bands of money. I don't know what these kids in their urban dictionary use. But was she tricked by all the keeping up with our Kardashians and the Paris Hiltons and all the other Instagram thoughts and just like, oh, well they did it, well maybe I can do it. Now she did it. Now she's ruined her future. Because as they say, the internet is forever, and eventually you'll be able to reverse Google image search anyone and be like, oh, here's her Instagram and her Facebook and her OF and her search history, and here's everything about her. And it's like, oh, you're no longer wifey material. You are throwaway fun material. And she's ruined her future for, I don't know. I don't know what she makes. Who knows? $50,000, $60,000, whatever she made. But throw away a future for very short-term gains. Anyways, gentlemen, thank you for coming back. Thank you for letting me rant and rave, spilling out my toxic thoughts. And as always, you take care and take it easy.